Hey, love bugs, how are you doing tonight? I hope I come to you tonight with love in your heart. Love is in mine for myself, and that is A-okay. I hope love is in yours, and you're treating each other well. I just want to say I love that you're here tuning in, and please make sure you're getting on Instagram and Facebook Love Grind and liking the page and looking at all the wonderful content up there. It might help somebody, okay? I also want to disclose that I am not a licensed therapist yet, so all the tips and advice I give you tonight are just that, tips and advice. If you or anyone that you know are struggling with any addiction, please reach out. There's tons of help out there, and there's absolutely nothing wrong with getting professional help, okay? Sometimes we need that extra pull. Tonight, love bugs, we're going to talk about something that is really interesting to me. It's called the love addiction cycle. It's the toxic dance between the love addict and the love avoidant. Okay, and some man named Jim Hall wrote it, and he's a recovery and relationship specialist here on loveaddictionhelp.com. Feel free to visit their site and get all his wonderful articles. They're so great. Okay, he kind of broke the love addiction cycle down. I know my last relationship, he was avoidant and I was the addict, and it wasn't a good thing. You know, maybe he just didn't love me and he couldn't show the love that he wanted, or maybe he did in his own way. Been in a relationship like that too at times, where you feel like it wasn't reciprocated, or you're on the other end of the stick. So either way, let's talk about it. Okay, the toxic dance between the love addict and the love avoidant. On this episode tonight, we're going to learn about the love addiction cycle that occurs in addicts, relationships between the love addict and the love avoidant. Okay, involving a toxic push-pull cycle, the full effusive highs and lows that are driven by the love addict's intense fear of abandonment and the love avoidant's intense fear of intimacy. Okay, when a love addict and a love avoidant come together to form an addictive type of relationship, a common and predictable cycle is ignited. It is an unhealthy attachment relationship pattern. We call it the love addiction cycle. Okay, so when they come together, here we go with this attachment, and it's called the love addiction cycle. As you'll see, this cycle demonstrates how the love addict and avoidant begin and how they progress through the relationship. It's an unhealthy, toxic cycle that encompasses a distressful push-pull dance full of emotional highs mixed with many lows, where the love addict is on the chase and the love avoidant is on the run. Oh gosh, so true. The exhilarating highs for love addicts are noticeably prominent at the beginning of an addictive relationship. As this addictive relationship cycle progresses, anxiety over the level of closeness or distance driven both from the pursuer, which is the love addict guys, and the distancer, which is the love avoidant, in a crazy making dance, sooner or later resulting in both partners feeling distressed, depressed, and miserable in the relationship, particularly if the love addict enters love withdrawals. It sounds so true, and it sounds like me, and it sounds like him, and it just sounds like such toxicity, and I just cannot believe I didn't notice that. Okay, what causes the love addiction cycle? The short answer is this cycle is driven by the love addict's strong fear of abandonment, which clashes with the love avoidant's strong fear of intimacy. He doesn't want to get too close, or she doesn't want to get too close, and the love addict needs that. Okay? When a love avoidant senses the love addict's desire close and intimate connection, it triggers a strong fear of intimacy. For intimacy and closeness is equal to being engulfed, stifled, and controlled. So they don't want to feel controlled or engulfed. And so when you're just saying, love me, they're saying, oh God, I gotta run. So I just want you to know, avoidants also have an underlying fear of abandonment, while love addicts also have an underlying fear of intimacy. These are fears that drive the repellent forces of each partner, thus creating the toxic love addiction cycle. Okay, and then when you get on the site, or I'll put it on Love Grind Facebook, it's a love addiction cycle chart, and it's emotional behavior cycle between the love addict and the love avoidant. Okay, so what happens is the love avoidant and the love addict, they attract each other. It's high intensity chemistry, immediate surge and a rush. They're like, he's seductive, charming, flattering, saying things to make you feel special. They make promises, idolization, gets a high from others' neediness and vulnerability, okay? And then you have your love addict in the same stage. She adores the attention, feels important, validated, special, fantasies, triggered, intoxicating, high obsessions, denies reality, ignores red flags, okay? He or she is perfect, magical, prince or princess. Okay, so that's what happens is the relationship progresses. So the obsessions increase. So for the avoidant, he or she's still engaged, but less idolizing. High dissipates, less attention, focus begins to, feel discomfortable for the partners. Okay, in the connection, they begin to pull away, with subtle distances, tactics to avoid intimacy and vulnerability. But for the addict in the second stage, okay, is completely preoccupied and obsessed and hooked. Obsession and fantasy intensifies. Dependency skyrockets. Abandons outside interests, okay, goals, friends and family, increases attempts to keep the intensity high, maintained, denies the emotional partner's unavailability and his walls or her walls put up. Wow, okay. So here's the third step of the cycle, okay. Push, pull down significantly increases. So dramas, triangles also begin here. The avoidant is beginning to feel engulfment and suffocation by his partner's attempts to connect. It intensifies dramatic increase in invading intimate contact, pushing a partner away, his or her walls up, increased focus away outside of the relationship. But the love addict begins more and more to notice partner's walls. Distancing behaviors, anxiety and discomfort arises, obsession and denial deepen, escalates attempts to connect, may manipulate demand, control, and attempts to recapture the high attention. Okay, so here we go. There's that drama. In the fourth step of the cycle, love bugs, is the push-pull drama dance in full force. So pursuing desperately and the walls increase. So the avoidant partner is creating and building these huge walls, okay, and distancing behaviors at its height, evading intimacy through tactics of resentment, anger, deflection, blame, looks down on their partner, perceives as weak, needy, sensitive. As partner seeks intimate contact, becomes more critical, they become more abusive, they may increase use of compulsive behaviors, addictions outside of relationship. Okay, so I always remember that, him always saying I was so sensitive and mean, and that was just his way of saying he doesn't want to get too close, pretty much. And the addict is, in this fourth step, is the denial of the partner, breaking fantasies crumbling, the sense of shock and disbelief of the partner's walls, okay, triggered feelings of rejection, panic, depression, the intense use of obsession bargains, blames self for partner's behaviors, places more tolerance, okay, tolerates more, gives and does more to attain fantasy and get back the relationship the way it used to be. I remember always when I'm doing that, you know, just doing really weird, outlandish shit just to make sure that he stayed with me and to know that I was there for him, okay? Number 5, various scenarios occur at this point in the cycle. So inside the relationship, the avoidant partner may occasionally give attention, focus on the love-addicted partner, okay? Desires, recreating intensity. This is often done out of guilt or fear that partner will leave. However, turning toward their partner is short-lived, okay? So eventually the avoidant, again, fears of intimacy are triggered, feels engulfed by utilizing common distancing tactics. And the love addict in this stage, okay, with a crumb of attention, the love addict feels high all over again, relieved from the avoidance, momentary attention focus to the relationship. Fantasy hopes are reignited, fuels further denial of the reality of the avoidant partner. And also, when the avoidant figures out he doesn't want intimacy, or she, the love addict, again notices avoidance, okay, disengages fantasy, the fantasies crumble, the triggered feelings of distress, anxiety, panic, and abandonment come back again for that other partner, okay? And the denial continues. So now, we're at the end of our cycle, the relationship ends, okay? The avoidant leaves the relationship, blames the partner for the relationship failure, moves on to repeat the same cycle with another love addict, and or engages in addiction, compulsion, sex, gambling, drugs, etc. And the love addict, when the relationship ends, the love addict enters withdrawal, quickly seeks out another relationship, and repeats the same cycle with another love avoidant, or medicates with another addiction to escape emotional pain. At that same time, craving the obsession of the ex-partner, okay, the craving for that ex-partner, in addition to owning all responsibility for the failure of the relationship. And that's just like I am. I just wanted him to come back so badly, and he never did. I just knew he was going to come get me, and he never came back, and I felt like a failure. So that is so accurate for a love addict on my end. Or the share of the pain and craziness of the relationship, okay, because of the loss of the fantasy, all right, and that makes the avoidant try to return. In response, the love addict leaving the avoidant may experience withdrawal, triggering pain, abandonment, and decides to seduce, charm, and convince the love addict to return to him or her. They may revert back to the person they were in the beginning by giving loads of attention, compliments, making new promises, apologizing for wrongs. If a love addict's fantasy is triggered all over again, then the relationship cycle is repeated. Oh, well, good thing for me, he didn't do that. He didn't care enough to come and try to do any of that. I don't know if that's caring or not. if they tried to do that, but he didn't, so the cycle ended there, okay? And so the last of our article is about addictive relationship pattern versus healthy, okay? Addictive relationships are insecure and unhealthy. Since both partners are insecurely attached, together they become repellents to one another, okay? In a healthy, secure relationship, couples cycles between engaging in intimate closeness and mutually withdrawing to interrogate into the respective senses of self. Okay, so put it another way, couples in a secure relationship engage in healthy equilibrium through periods of connection, disconnection, and reconnection, reassembling a healthy dance. It's the natural ebb and flow of secure and loving partnerships. It's a healthy dance. Whereas an addictive, insecure relationship, both partners being insecurely attached become asynchronous in closeness and distance, and thus create a toxic and distressing dance. Okay, love bugs, that was a lot to take in, but it was so good. I hope you go over that again and you can recognize some of the cycles if you're living in that love addiction cycle, or if you're not. And if you are, please try to break the cycle, okay? It's not healthy to be like that. It's very healthy to give each other space and time and to come back together and be able to communicate in an honest, respectful fashion, okay? And I'm so sorry if you had to go through that love avoidant type of relationship. It does not feel good when someone doesn't reciprocate the love that you're putting out, okay? And if you're the love avoidant, try to work on it a little bit. You know, if you see someone giving you love, why don't you embrace it? Or maybe work on each other and see why you guys have that sense of abandonment going on and why you're so afraid of that. I just hope we can all get it together, because I just want a healthy, loving, non-toxic relationship, okay? And I hope you all do too. And please treat each other well. And until next time, love bugs, I'm out.
Better time than now, a better place than here, to let it all go. And what better time than now, a better place than here, to let yourself grow. What better time than now, a better place than